My next amazing speaker, one of my favorites, y'all. I love everybody, but I got some favorites who they just been with me for a minute, and I love seeing them grow and their elevation and being a witness to it. And this next speaker is one of those amazing women. Dr. Elizabeth Carter has just been blowing up all over. Dr. Elizabeth is what we call blow-uptuation. I'm just saying, because she is just getting out in the marketplace, getting her voice heard, and I love seeing the growth and the expansion. So Dr. Elizabeth Carter is speaking to us today on the topic, your possibilities are unlimited when you pave your way. All right, Dr. Elizabeth, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cheryl. It was March 20th, 2019, and I was standing in the processional line with other PhD graduates. I only had two goals to walk from point A of the stage to point B. Number one, not collapsing because this graduation gown I had on was so hot, I felt like a grizzly bear roasting in an oven. And second was not falling because I had these beautiful 4-inch ankle strap shoes on, but my ankles were saying, girl, now you know those shoes are too high. You can't even walk. But I knew that this was my day. And as I stood waiting for my name to be called, I started thinking, why am I here? And what did I do to get here? I believe that we all have unlimited possibilities when we understand our why and know the path to take. Today, I'll share with you one of my whys and my 4-step repeatable process for you to pave your way to success. Now, I'm standing there waiting to walk, and I'm still fanning myself with this gown. It's so hot. And it took me back to a time when I was interacting with a different gown, a hospital gown. It was not me in the bed, but my mother, who had been admitted for a stroke. As I stared down looking at her tired eyes, her lip now drooping to one side, the intravenous needles in her arms, all the machinery, and the beep, beep, that let me know that my world would never be the same. I'm thinking, do I now have to financially support the family? I was only a sophomore in college. My brother only a senior in high school. My 10-hour-a-week job would not allow me to pay a mortgage, taxes, utilities, or whatever other bills my mother had, because she had already been struggling. She was divorced, dependent on alimony and child support, and had no degree. That trifecta puts an African-American woman at a disadvantage. Now, with a permanent disability and the never-ending prescription refills, we would never be financially sound. I almost came to tears in that hospital. I almost needed medical attention. But that day set my path forward to where I am right now, because I never wanted to be able to have to experience that on my own. I knew that I needed complete independence, something my mother never got. I knew that perseverance, continuous improvement, learning, growing would allow me to create my own independent wealth. And I've been doing that ever since. Now, going back to 2019, I walked across that stage, stood for my picture. I didn't collapse. I didn't fall. And I could hear in the audience my mother yell, "That's my baby." And I knew that while she was my why of what I do every day, that I was her why. And from that point, which was 32 years ago, she never allowed us to have any boundaries limited and always supported us. Now, my gown and treasures of why may not be yours. Mine's a graduation gown and a hospital gown. Your gown may be a wedding gown or a christening gown, or if your grandmama raised you, a house gown or house tote, as she called it. Or your symbolic memoir may be something else, maybe some other symbol, situation, or sacrifice. But there should be something that allows us to stay motivated and focused. If you know what your motivator is and can see it, type "I can see it" in the chat. Because sometimes we are thrown curveballs and we know the possibilities are not happening. We know that we are set up to fail, but we have to make sure we have a plan or a path to move forward. And I want to share with you my repeatable 4-step plan that can help you. And I call it PAVE, P-A-V-E, because I love acronyms. First step is the P. Proactively plan your time and your money. Anything you set out to do, you want to understand where you're trying to go and what are the intermittent milestones that you need to achieve to get there. We know that while our possibilities are unlimited, time and money is not. You have to plan accordingly. And especially with your money, I know for me, anything I do not want to bankrupt myself. If I have to cut back, regroup, stop doing, say no, I do that to ensure that I have all of my money allocated for what I need to do. Proactively plan your time and money, which brings me to step 2. Anticipate failure of yourself and others. It happens. While we think everything should be positive and happy-go-lucky, it's not always the case. A lot of times, our failure comes from not being proactively planning. We need to give ourselves grace and move on and do better the next time. And while we may have our fan club, they also may fail us. They may disagree, ask us why. What are you thinking? How come you're doing that? But you have to stand strong and understand your dreams and that they may not all be in your corner. But you have to stay strong and move forward, which brings me to step 3, the V. Value your why every day. And not that surface why you tell anybody, that deep-rooted why that you may not have shared. I shared with you my why about my mother. And if you need something in front of you to remind you, a symbol, an affirmation, a memo, a message, a video, have that with you because times will get tough. They will be haters. You need to ground yourself back on your why, and that gives you the strength. And step 4, E, expect to win. But it's not without hard work or perseverance. You've heard that from the other speakers. Nothing comes easy. Anything you want is a challenge. But when you get to the end and you're victorious, oh, that is awesome. I tell you, every gown I've worn, every graduation I've done, every stage I walk across gets me closer to my independence and my why. And every stage is a bit more challenging, but I make sure I am ready for it. You now have a 4-step process to get you on your way to your unlimited possibilities. Proactively plan, accept failure, value your why, and expect to win. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Carter. I equip ambitious women of color with strategies to be visible, vocal, and valued in the workplace so that they can maximize their opportunities. I'd love to connect with you to discuss how I can help you pave your way to your next. I have a free gift for you. If you go to bit.ly/PUPAVE, that is PUPAVE, I have a digital download for you. 8 simple ways to supercharge your motivation, because that's where we get stuck. We get tired, we fall down, we say, I don't want to do it. We need to stay motivated, and those tips will help you. I thank you all for joining us this afternoon. I encourage you all, no matter what stage you walk across in your life, do it proudly and make sure you have a plan that will get you to your dreams. Thank you so much, Dr. Cheryl Wood. Appreciate it.
Just blow up tuition. That's my word for Dr. Elizabeth now. Blow up tuition. Yes, yes, and yes. I love it. I love the acronym and the breakdown of that. But you know what really resonated with me when you said, when you shared that intimate experience with your mom, and we're so vulnerable in sharing that, you said, I realized in that moment I needed complete independence. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now that spoke to my soul, because some of you are in that space right now. You know that you need complete independence. I always say I was looking for freedom. I was looking for time freedom, financial freedom, creative freedom in my life. But I like that connection with independence, just complete independence. And of course, the breakdown of PAVE, proactively plan your time and your money, accept failure, value your why, expect to win. Y'all go ahead and give love, give hearts, give fireballs, give hand claps and snap for Dr. Elizabeth Carter, who just came in and dropped the mic on us. Thank you so much, Dr. Carter.